We're scheduled to triple that amount of silver produced this year and double it the following year. That means we are going to be producing this year fiscally about 5.2 million ounces and expect to produce 8 to 10 million ounces next year. I will explain you how. We own two mines, La Negra mine, which is a historic mine that was owned previously by Peñoles. That has undergone two subsequent expansions, first from 1,000 tons to 1,500 tons per day, and currently today we have installed capacity of 2,500 tons per day. This year we are already mining at La Negra after 15 days at a rate of 2,000 tons per day, and we are also increasing our margins by about 10%. That means the impact on this year will be about 43%. We also decreased our cost per ton last year, and it's in our audited financials, by about 9%, and we expect, due to the increasing capacity, to decrease that cost per ton about 5% this year. You can see here our number here. It's not very well portrayed, but we have now over 500 million shares, and that was due to the money raise that we had to do. So there was some dilution in the company, but it was accretive dilution. We went from 8 cents to the current 90 cents, so the stock price has performed over 10 times in the last 24 months or 30 months. Our market cap has gone from $8 million to close to $400 million. We also have steadily been profitable since the next quarter I took over as CEO of the company. Prior to that, the company had just lost money. And we have 8 straight record quarters of EBITDAs. That means we have increased our sales from the fourth quarter of 2009 to the third quarter of 2011 by 3 times. However, our EBITDAs have increased by a multiple of 7 times. That is an indication of the strength of our operations and how we've been steadily improving those operations. We currently produce 3 concentrates, a copper, a zinc, and a lead concentrate, which are high quality concentrates. Over 24% copper in our copper concentrate is very high. And proof of that is our buyers are Trafigura, which buys our zinc and copper concentrate, and Glencore, who buys our lead concentrate, where most of the silver refers to. And they're very pleased with our performance, our increasing capacity at La Negra. We also have a good combination, in my opinion, of technical expertise as well as business savvy directors. We have Ken Collison, who was the former Chief Operating Officer of Thompson Creek Mines. Paul Matajcek is also on our board. He was the chairman of Energy Metals. He got it from about $100 million and was finally sold for $1.5 billion. He also sold for about $500 million Potash One about under 2 years ago. And he's now the current president and CEO of Lithium One. On the business side, well, we have Bob Tweedy, who was awarded the Queen's Award in Canada for the services to the country. He's also on the board of very important financial institutions like Transamerica, as well as Dundee Reed, extremely well-connected individual. And on the Mexican side, I am Mexican citizen as well as a Canadian citizen. I was born, raised, and educated in Mexico. It's Adrian Aguirre, whose family controls the largest radio network in the country. Significantly as well, in our technical advisors is Dr. Peter McGow, who is credited with the most important silver discoveries in the country, probably in the world, founder of Max Silver, and who is very pleased to be working with us since our Shafter mine, located close to the Big Bend, was where he used to spend his youth and where he got the inclination to become a geologist. If you take a look at this page, La Negra, well, apparently we do not have enough resources. You have to take into account that last year, 85% of what we mined was not in any compliant resource. That is, we just find it, mine it, and cash on it. However, this year, and this in a couple of weeks, we're going to be issuing a new updated resource on La Negra, and that should double these published numbers. We're going to do another one before the end of the year, and that should more than double again those resources. We're finding a lot of ore. This is a very large mine, and we're very pleased with the results that we have from our 11 geologists that we have at La Negra. Unusual for Mexico. Usually they have 2 or 3 geologists. We have 11. Our main mine geologist was 22 years with Grupo Mexico, working at the San Martin mine, one of Mexico's largest. And the intercepts that we get at La Negra are as good as San Martin's. That's the report I get from Elias. Anyways, you can see here that historically we've been mining at a rate of 79 grams per ton. It's low grade, so this has to be a very efficient operation, and it is a very efficient operation. However, we are increasing those grades as initially indicated by 10%. We already published that in increasing grades in December in a news release, as well as in our audited financial statements that are audited by Pricewaterhouse. This gives you also an idea of the size of this mine. These little lights are miners. This bench is 10 meters wide, and we have 70 kilometers of underground tunnels where we put in 20-ton trucks that hold back the ore. So this is a carbonate replacement deposit, and we hold tons of ore to be processed at the mill here, who just finished a second expansion. Also, in this last chart, you can see in red the different ore bodies, and we have 28 ore bodies. 23 were identified by Peñoles, another 5 by our own staff, and we have only certified 3 of those 28 on a compliant basis. So that you get an idea of this mine, the largest ore body, La Negra, is 400 meters tall, 60 meters in diameter. That means that you could easily put in there the Empire State Building. As far as Shafter is concerned, Shafter is a primary silver mine whose only product is silver. There are no byproduct whatsoever. It's high grade, 8 to 10 ounces. It's going to be producing over 10% of the silver produced in the US. We will be producing about 13 or 14% of that silver, and it was commissioned in a record time of 13 months, 2 months ahead of schedule, $1 million under budget. All the equipment is being tested this weekend for 20 hours non-stop. If everything goes according to plan, which I do hope that it will go that way, we should start pouring silver doré bars very soon. Our resources, which are compliant at Shafter, 48 million ounces. The cutoff there is at 4 ounces. We are actually going to be mining at a cutoff of 2 ounces per ton. We could recalculate those resources at a rate of about 60 million ounces. The only reason we're going to be mining at a lower grade is a lower cutoff is that just to have a more homogeneous ore body. So we acquired Shafter for $43 million from Silver Standard. It was almost fully permitted. We just had to amend those permits, and we managed to re-permit all the mine in about 8 months in Texas, which is a very friendly mining jurisdiction. It took us $47 million more to put into operation. That is, we have invested $90 million Shafter. The first 12 months of preparation should generate more than $100 million in EBITDA for AURCANA. This is according to the Silver Institute, the current rating of all the primary silver mines in the world. And in the US, only Greens Creek from Hecla will produce more than we will this year. As far as the exploration potential at Shafter, and on this chart, You can see in red the mantle, which is about 10 meters thick, and the shafts that were put into place by Goldfields. This is a production shaft, and this we're using as a ventilation shaft. Goldfields plan to produce at a rate of 900 tons per day using this shaft. We are using a decline, and the decline is already here at block 3. And we found out that this block 3 was 100 feet longer than we expected, so we are going to have to go around the ore body, and this block 3, and that block 3 also continues at depth and at strike. These carbonate replacement deposits usually come associated with another metal like zinc, but in our case we have just pure silver. That means we have to find the source of this mineralization. Once we do, the volume increases exponentially while the grade decreases a little bit, somehow. In dark gray shows all the surface rights that we own. And in Texas, when you own the surface right, you also own the mineral rights. We also own the mineral rights there. But also it allows us to not even get a permit to start drilling. And currently we have 2 exploration drills already working at Shafter. Another very important point is that we own 2 resources at this mine. We own the silver and all the mineral rights, but also this is a very dry area of Texas. And we also own the water there, which is drinking quality water, which we are going to be using for our mine. And the tailings are also qualified as industrial waste. So we are being very careful of the environment and of all the rulings that need to be followed in Texas, and as well as we do in Mexico. Here in the last page is the consensus estimate of production from some of our peers, and I can tell you that, for instance, for First Majestic and Silver Corp, that was the consensus estimates. First Majestic's own guidance for 2012 is about 7.5 million ounces. We will be producing about 6.2, so we'll be about 15% below what they're going to be producing. And Silver Corp will produce about 6 million ounces, so we're going to surpass that production too, just in silver. Silver Corp also has gold credits. So yes, we're going to be joining the ranks of our friends and endeavor, like a mid-tier silver producer this year, definitely. And we will increase or use the production that's already installed, which has been paid off for next year. So we expect to produce 8 million ounces next year and join the ranks of the major silver producers. Thank you for your attention.